Welcome back to candidate question time for the 2002 Manchester Students' Union elections, hosted by Manchester Media Group, the UOM student media platform. I'm Garima, a member of the Fuse TV news team. From the 28th of February until the 2nd of March, MMG are running candidate hustings for the 8 full-time executive officer roles. Earlier today, we heard from the candidates for the role of Wellbeing and Liberation Officer and the Science and Engineering Officer. Now it's time for the Research Officer role. The executive officers are the top tier of the union's student roles. They are full-time jobs paid £20,403 for the year to represent all students and influence their experience throughout the university and wider city. These live streams are a chance for you to meet the candidates for each role and hear them answer questions on topics suggested by Manchester students. Let's meet our candidates, Mohammed Ansab Ali and Monasij Pal Chowdhury. The third candidate, Abdel Hamid Al-Tuki, is not currently here. To start things off, candidates will have 1 minute to give an introductory speech about themselves and their manifestos. When their time is up, I'll raise my hand to indicate that they should finish at the end of their sentence. First up is Mohammed.
Yeah, my name is Mohammad Ansab Ali and I'm doing PhD from MACE, and being a research officer, I'll bring more rights to the PGR students, which will include such as benefits like pensions, state benefits, equivalent to the skilled worker rights. Apart from that, I'll work with the university to enhance its knowledge transfer partner scheme and also provide grants to the students working on sustainability projects, therefore help university in achieving COP 2026 goals. Lastly, I will work with the university to provide high quality mentoring sessions to the research students so that they can balance between research and the social life. Lastly, I'll try to have innovation challenges between undergrad students and the postgrad students so they have more interest towards industries, thus limiting the gap between academia and industry. Okay, thanks.
Okay, and Monasij?
Hello everyone, I'm Monoshij, a final year PhD student in the Faculty of Science and Engineering. I've previously been a PGI representative in the Faculty of Science and Engineering, and I've been the first president of the University of Manchester PGI Association, during which I worked with the Student Union and other PGIs to ensure that we have a separate role for PGIs, the research officer in the Students' Union. If elected as the research officer, my main focus would be to work with other universities to participate in a national campaign to recognize PGIs as staff members, to improve the working conditions for GTAs, including improved sick payment and improved payments for marking and preparation time, to provide better mental health support for PGIs, to provide improved conditions for PGI parents and carers, to work for greater PGI diversity, to organize more PGI-specific social events in the SU, including a separate PGI week, to provide improved professionalism and career services, and to ensure that the research in Manchester, particularly the research of PGIs, is focused towards our goals to decolonize the curriculum and decarbonize the university as a whole.
Thank you. Now it's time for the questions. These are written based on topics submitted by the student body. You will have 1 minute to answer, after which I will again raise my hand to indicate that it is time to wrap up. Question 1. What's the biggest issue currently facing postgraduate research students? Monasij?
I think the biggest issue currently facing postgraduate research students is that we fall in this category between staff and students. So in our GTA roles, we are staff members, but as like PGRs, although we do research and teach undergrads, which are the roles of staff members, we are still considered as students. And because we are considered as students, we don't get workers' rights. For example, as PGRs, we don't get the proper staff channels in the university to raise various grievances. We don't have a separate workload workload model like stuff. And this in turn leads to this unhealthy work culture among PGRs, which to me is responsible for this endemic problems in PGRs regarding mental health. And because we are not considered as staff members, our work is, although our work is very,
Thank you.
yeah,
Now, Mohammed.
we are not considered as staff members to staff, and I think this is where the biggest problem comes, that we fall in this gap between staff and students.
Thank you. Now, Mohammed.
Definitely, being a PGR students, you work as a GTA, but the benefits compared to staff are quite lower. This is definitely one of the factors that I wish to improve. Apart from this, being an international students, when students use university, they prefer to go somewhere in the age based on their age group they can settle eventually. If you see Europe and other countries, they provide proper employment benefits to the students, and they eventually help them in settling. They have special visa schemes for postgrad students, and also during their PhD life, some might have babies and other things, and they need proper support from the department to adequately manage their uh, research and healthy life. Apart from that, during the COVID time, students have issues with the landlords to provide guarantor or the kind of benefits. I will work with university to provide them extra support wherever needed, depending upon the situations. Yeah.
Thank you. Question 2. The recent UCU 4 fight strikes have drawn attention to fixed-term contracts affecting postgrad students who are teaching seminars. How would you work with the university to improve conditions for research students and staff? Mohammed, start with you.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever the concerns are raised, and I'll work with the university so that being because thinking one way from the student perspective is one point. However, if I've given a role, I'll definitely work with university so that can benefit together the students and the university, and that's it. For example.
Thank you. Now, Manasij.
Yeah, so as a UCU member, this is something really close to me. We are already involved in working with the university to improve conditions, both for GTAs and other fixed-term staff members. Already in the past few years, I've been involved in campaigns to ensure that GTAs got sick pay during the COVID pandemic, and we're currently campaigning to ensure that GTAs get sick pay irrespective of the reasons of their illness. We are also working to ensure improved contracts with GTS, particularly regarding proper marking and preparation times, about which there are loads of complaints from GTS that the payment is not sufficient for the time endorsed. More broadly, I will be working with other universities and the UCU nationally to organize and create a campaign so that PGRs get staff benefits, including sick pay, that parental leave, and similar benefits. And on the question of the fixed term contracts, again, this is something we have already worked on and we are continuing to work on. In particular, we are looking at removal of all 0-hour contracts and putting people in fractional contracts, which would which would give people a little bit of improved working conditions with regarding to contracts and simplify the issues. I'll be also looking to simplify the GTA payments, because as any GTA will tell you, the GTA payment system can be incredibly complicated at times, and quite a lot of us often cannot find out proper payments in a payslip, which is something I think needs to be addressed.
Thank you. Question 3. How will you ensure postgraduate students are integrated into social life and university experience? Mohammed, do you want to start with you?
Yeah, definitely. Recently, Student Union have allocated dedicated roles for the postgrad students. That's quite interesting. And PGRs have a very difficult life managing their research. They should be integrated with the student unions to participate in events such as Innovation Challenge and other social events, depending upon the schedule they have. And their schedule is quite different from the undergrad schedule in terms of exams and other things. So um, explicit events will be hosted for the postgrad students in the student union.
Thank you. Now, Monosage.
Yeah, so as I said, I will initially I will propose hosting more like PGR specific events, including what I have proposed for a specific PGR welcome week. But along with that, I also want to work more closely with societies in particular, because I think quite a lot of our societies do amazing work, and PGR students will be really interested in taking part in them. But often such awareness is not there. A lot of PGS often do not know about these societies and how they work. So one of my main focus would be using this role to ensure that the benefits of societies reach the PGS students, because I think that is one where there's really a lack of a connection between various societies and PGS.
Thank you. Question 4. How would you work with other officers, such as wellbeing or culture, to make sure postgraduate students are having their emotional and mental health needs met? Monosage.
Yes, this is something which is really important. We will need to work with all the other officers, as it's already mentioned in the question. I think working with the well-being officer will be incredibly important to ensure that PGRs get the mental health support they need. Research has already shown that PGRs are some of the population which is worst affected with regards to mental health. However, the university counseling services and mental health services often I have felt lacks the required knowledge that PGRs fall in this category, which is neither staff nor student, and that itself comes with specific challenges. I was listening to the hustings of the city and community officer yesterday, and I was really interested in some of the points they raised, particularly regarding their anti-spiking campaigns, regarding campaigns against gender violence and all. And I think there's real scope for opportunity there, because because PGS are also a part of the city and student body, and those are the issues which affects all students, including PGS. There's in particular real opportunities to build up campaigns addressing the gender balance among PGRs, making sure that there's increased diversity in PGR population, making sure that there's in particular PGRs from women, BAME, LGBTQ plus communities, and disabled PGRs feel properly supported in the student union. And I think these are in particular the aspects where there's scope for real connection between the research officer and other officer roles.
Thank you. Mohammed?
Yeah, being a PCR is quite challenging in terms of the research workload here, and also the number of PGR students in the universities are quite less. Therefore, earlier they were given a limited attention by the university. However, I wish to work to have dedicated, counseling sessions and psychiatrist support, and also well-being activities dedicated for the PGRs, so that they can actively manage their social life and research load. And while listening to the sessions with the other well-being officer, we need to arrange explicit events for the research students, so that they can have fruitful experience at University of Manchester.
Thank you. You've each got a chance now to make a closing statement or to talk about something you haven't had a chance to cover yet. Mohammed.
Just want to say that I'm here to help and support based on not my own views, while listening to the most of the students, and try to bring the best which is for university and the students, and make university great again.
Thank you. And Monosage?
I would use this to encourage all students, PGS and otherwise, to vote in the student union elections. The research officer role I know can appear incredibly specific and can appear like it may not affect others than PGS, but I think there's a scope for real collaboration here, particularly campaigns which are very close to all of us. I wish to use the experiences in this role to particularly focus on decolonization and decarbonization campaigns, which I think a lot of students are passionate about. And I think there's a real opportunity to build closer links between PGRs and the other UGs and PGTs, which I think has been lacking in this university so far.
Thank you. Thank you all for taking part today. You can find the full candidate manifestos and the ones for the other roles at manchesterstudentsunion.com/lead-MCR. Coming up tomorrow are the candidate question time live streams for the roles of Activities and Culture Officer and Humanities Officer. Voting opens at 10 a.m. on Monday, the 7th of March for the Executive Officer elections and Associate Chair elections, with results announced live on March the 11th. Don't miss the chance to have your say.